I think you're live. Let me check it on YouTube. I think yes, we're live. Yes. I can see the chat messages here. So it's my first time using this Streamlab like application for the streaming. So yep, I think we should start. So yep, I'm streaming after a long time. It's 20 November 2025. It's around 10, like I mean it's exactly 10 p.m. right now. So today's stream gonna be about, so recently I have started learning about SQL. Like I know SQL a little bit, at least I like think that, but like SQL, like to be master SQL you have to be consistent and practice. So before that, while I have learned SQL, is I have learned SQL in parts. For example, let's say I have learned it in continuous 3 days and not even practice for like even 4 months, 6 months. So it's not really a good practice to do that. For example, if you start learning after after a huge gap, you will start learning from basics again. So you will stuck in that loop. While every time you pick it up, you will start again and again on there if you are not being consistent. So recently I have started challenged myself to at least be consistent in the upcoming 15 days, learn school every day. So I will also try to, it's my first day actually, so I will also try to be consistent, uh, and also if possible do streams. So yeah, how like last time I have picked up uh, this challenge with my friend for the 30 days to do DSA, and I will also do the same for now. So yeah, I have watched this. So I got this channel where I got like the Telegram channel where I have this 18 I have been 18 SQL videos. So yep, So yeah, let's start this. So today, like it was basic. I have learned basic DML and DDL statements from the videos. So yep, well, let's start learning with the AI itself. So first of all, let me ask to perplexity. Explain different types of SQL commands. So SQL mainly categorized into five types based on their function, managing and manipulation of database. So first one is DDL, which is data definition language. This command defines or alter the structure of database objects such as table and schema. So these include like creating or manipulating. So it generally these commands are generally used for like overall structure of the table or the database. For example, create table, alter table, with which we could uh, let's go also go ahead with W3 school, which is a great resource to learn anything related to technology. Let's search for SQL. SQL. Yep. What is SQL? SQL is a standard query language dealing with the relational databases. SQL used to insert, search, update like basic CRUD operations on database record. How to use? Okay, this is just an example. Simple. SQL is not case sensitive. Okay, I mean the language itself is not case sensitive. Semicolon is to and like it represent that. Let's first start with TDL. SQL create database tables. SQL create database tables. Statement is used to create new SQL databases. So we will directly use create database and the database name. This is the example. Next one is drop. This is used to delete the database itself. So we would just use drop database name, just similar to like create database. Then we have the create table. So database has like multiple tables in it, and in tables we will have a row and table representation of the data, and in that row tables the actual data will be stored. So it goes like this. First of all, we have the database, which only contains different tables, and in different tables it has different rows. Like tables is a representation of rows and columns in itself, which stores the actual data. So yeah, we can create table using this command. For example, let's create table, then the create like table name, and here uh, we add the column names that we need, and after column names pro we also provide what are the properties will be on that column. For example, right after mentioning the column name, we add the what are the like data type of that column will be. For example, in this case, we are creating a table called person. That person ID column, we would like to have it in integers. Last name will be varchar. Varchar is like you can just strings, and 250 is like maximum characters of the this column could have. So yeah, this is how you create columns. Okay, that's interesting. Create table using another table. A copy of existing table can be created using create table. Wow, that's interesting. Something new. A new table can have the same column definition as all columns of this column can be selected. If you create a new table using existing column, if existing value from the old tables, create table new table name. As here we could select the column name, the columns from existing table. Okay, interesting. Following SQL, create a new table which is the copy of two tables. Wow, let's move ahead to like something like we could drop or delete database itself, and also we could drop the tables. And let's move to the next alter statement. So alter statement is a DDL, which is like data definition command, which deals with like the structure or the definition of the database or like table itself. So like alter, we could alter or update or change the definition of the table itself using alter table. So the alter table statement is used to add, delete or modify columns in existing tables. So for example, let's say want to we have created a table and we want to add a new column. You could add using alter table, uh, the table name, and we can say add, and then the column name and the data type of that column and the order properties if you like. And also alter table is also used to add and drop various constraints on the existing table. Yes, this is also very important. Here the first one is we could add, delete or modify the existing column. For example, let's say the name of the column, we could modify that. And also another interesting point here is we could we also used to add order. Okay, so we could also add various constraints. For example, let's say there's a product uh, column in our table. Using alter table we could add which has a not null property or constraint on that, like the value could not be null. We could remove that constraint using alter table name. uh, I think it could be like update or anything, update the column name and the new constraints, I think. So yeah, using alter table you could add, delete or modify existing column, and also play around with existing constraints or add if we want. So yeah, this is it. This is the example. Alter table, this is the example. Modify column, this is the table person. We want to add column name, date of birth in the person. Okay, we want to add a new column here, so we could what we would do, we could use alter table, add new column name and constraints. Here's the example: alter table person, add birth date. This is the column name that we want to add, and this is the data type of that column. And also similar to like create what we does in create table, we could also add additional constraints here. This will have the null value. We could also change the data type. We want to add data type column name person table. We will the following: alter table person, modify column, the existing column name, and year. So year is also the data type here. There are like, to deal with time or like date, there are different, I would say mainly four that I can think of are like date, which only deals with the date, which is in format of year, month, days. Second one is date time, which is in format of date and also the time, which also contains seconds. And the third, like the microseconds, I mean, the third one is a timestamp. Fourth one is, it is same timestamp is similar to date time. Fourth one is year. That's it. That's what I could think of. I think here there should be okay, dates. Here you go. Yep, these are the four main types of the date. So here we only want to date of birth, we only want to store the year, so that's why we have changed the data type of the existing column from date to year. But here we we have to keep in mind that while changing the data type, we have to keep in mind that existing data should be uh, should be reliable. I mean to say, like, reliable could not be the great word, but uh, should be like compatible, should be compatible with whatever data types that we are changing. For example, here we cannot change data type of city from varchar varchar to date, because it would not be compatible. We cannot change it to string, I mean the integers. But what we could do, I think we could change from integers to strings. Let me check here. String, table, data type, changes. Okay, here's the main point. Data conversion issue may occur. Bro, I know I mean, it's not in beta version, it's full launch, I guess. Still, it gives like the browser format. It's like, I think they have been pushing updates like regularly. It's been like somewhat laggy or buggy sometimes, but yeah, it is what it is. Yep, here is the point. Conversion may occur, like data conversion issue may occur, data loss, compatibility. Yep, here's the example. For example, I think here we have to think logically while converting the data types. For example, here integer can obviously be changed to big int, but we cannot do vice versa. Big int cannot be fixed in integers. Changing was character to integer error, not integer. Yep. This is like logical, I would say, at this point. Bigger types, yep. Character can be done varchar, float can be double datem, yep. Varchar cannot be converted into integers. Yep, and also varchar with the long length cannot be reduced. This is logical also because it will lose like truncate, lose some values. Same here, same. Yep. I think that's the general rule that while you're converting one data type from another, it should not lose any values. In that case, it's compatible, otherwise, it's not. Drop column similar to this, add column, modify column, drop column using the alter statement. Let's move to the next one. I have learned in today's class all of this, so I'm just revising this. Create constraints. Constraints can be specified when the table is created. Yep, you can say these are like properties of the each column that we could define while creating or defining the column or creating the table after the table is created. And also we could also add or modify uh, the constraints on a table using alter statement, but it is like good practice to always add constraints on while creating the table. So the constraints are used to specify rules for the data in table. Constraints are used to limit the type of data can go into the table. This ensure accuracy and reliability of the data in table. If there's any violation between constraints and data action, the action is aborted. Constraints can be column level, table level. Column level constraints apply to column, table level apply to whole table. These are like commonly used constraints, not null, which ensures column cannot like the value cannot be null. Unique ensures like all the values of that column should be unique. If it is not, then it will abort the transaction. Primary key ensures it is not null and also it is unique. So yeah, a foreign key prevents action that would destroy links between table. Okay, check. Okay, the check is interesting here. Like in check, after that in parentheses, in rounded parentheses, we could add like any check. For example, if we are dealing with integer value, we could add the integer should be greater than less than this value, like it should be greater than 20, it should be less than 20, and this kind of logical constraints we could add, logical checks. Also we could add, for example, like the concept of enums, we could add enums here using the check constraints, where for example, let's say we are having a user type column, we could add the data type will be varchar, we could add check constraints there. And in check, what we could do, in check parentheses user type in, and then parentheses, then we could add what are like enums that we want, like admin, normal user, free user, and this type of things. So each time we add any value in this, it will go through the check, it will check if it is in the specified enums, then it will only accept that. Then another one is default, which is in case we didn't provide any value, then it would automatically add default set value, create index. That's something I will learn in future, it's not topic for today. Not null constraint by default, not null. Yup, that's it, bro. Unique is also, I know that. Filter table person, drop index. There are some interesting examples. But yep, how long this today? And also this is like basic practice that I have did, where I have created, it is by totally by myself, created a table, alter it, add new column with the constraint, added multiple values, rows in it, and let's execute it. By the way, it is just a joke, don't take it seriously. What are in the products, it's just a joke, by the way. So yep, I think I'm sitting outside right now, it's my first day of streaming. It's a half an hour has done. So what I think I will do is, on each stream I will summarize and also learn about what I have, and also like let's practice in English. So I think that should be right choice to end stream here of the day one. Yep, like I have learned today about this DDL, and also little bit of DML. I think select statement comes in a DML. I have learned about select, adding, inserting, like CRUD basic, deleting to basic CRUD operations. So yeah, I will also you do some streams, and also I will try to do it much longer, and also if possible, or if I get comfortable doing long streams in future, I will also do like projects on streams, or like solve some problems on stream. So that is my goal. So but for today I think that's it. Let's stop it here. Yep, also it is my first time using this Streamlab application. I think so far it has been good. Well, yep, let's end this here. So, yep, this is Pranav signing off.